like maybe add an element. If I added maybe two of these, two something like this that are actual songs, not me just snapping, integrated with like the 816 rawness.
How many songs do you have so far on that?
Without these two songs, if I added the songs I wanted to add, it would make my track list 15.
Maybe this is like some shit. I mean, like, you can't deny this beat is dope. So maybe this is some shit that you would do on your album, or like a prelude to, or this is the prelude to the album. So, but like maybe that's some elements of you not being as raw, making more songs for the album rather than just 816.
The whole vibe of 816 is just hard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then especially if you're throwing like Lindsay on it with that type of beat, like that feels like an album record.
You're right, 100%.
Yeah, I think I need a mirror when I spit. Swear his mom is real, come take a glimpse. When you on my side, yeah. The road's a lot different on my side. Yeah, I'ma show you how we get it on my side. Yeah, look how we living on my side.
What's going on, my YouTube family? So it's been a little while since I've done a tutorial, but I've been receiving a lot of emails on people having a hard time keeping their vocals sounding natural. And quite a few of you guys have stated in those emails that you feel like you're cutting too much out of your lead vocal, but if you don't cut as much, then the vocals are sounding real muddy and stuff like that. So what I wanted to show you is a tip that I do, and I go further into detail in my tutorial bundle that I have for sale on my website at www.mixedbygordan.com. But I used to struggle with this a lot as well, and I would cut so much out of my vocals that the vocals just felt thin and really unnatural. And I would compare my mixes to more industry mixes, and the vocals, on the industry records would feel so much more warm and full, but they didn't feel muddy or like they were had a hard time meshing with the beat. And this really goes for whether you're dealing with 2 tracks or tracked out beats. So what you need to do is cut less out of the lead vocal and find what's going on in your instrumental or your tracked out beats. What instruments are colliding in with the vocal in the range from 200 to 500, because that range is really hard to deal with vocals, because if you cut too much, that's where a lot of your body is in your lead vocal. So it's really easy to cut too much in that frequency range, and your vocals start sounding thin. So I'm going to show you. I'm getting ready to play this record from Star B, who you guys just saw in the footage just a minute ago. The vocal chain was a U87 to the Neve Unison preamp with the Apollo Twin, going through the LA2A and Pultec was the recording chain. And I'm going to play this. The only cut that I've done in this vocal is a high pass filter, and then I notched out a few dB in like around 3.5K. Just he had a ringy frequency that was going on, but other than that, in that 200 to 500 hertz range, I didn't cut anything, and I'm going to play this so that way you guys can hear it.
Yeah. When you on my side, yeah. The road's a lot different on my side, yeah. I'ma show you how we living on my side. How we get it on my side. You know I fuck what you have. Yeah. You know I fuck what you have. Yeah. You know I fuck what you have.
All right, so at least in my opinion, the vocal is still sounding pretty full. Doesn't feel thin by any means, in my opinion, and it's also not feeling muddy. It's not really like colliding with the beat in that frequency range. So what I do and what I've started doing to keep my vocals more full, and this is really gonna work wonders for you guys who are dealing with hip hop a lot and you're getting a lot of 2-track instrumentals, is I actually do mid-side EQ on the instrumental itself. What this allows me to do, and this is the actual EQ on the beat. Let me go to a more prominent prominent part in the song, so he's rapping more and you guys can hear. I'll bypass this EQ that I have going on the instrumental, and you can see the.
You know I fuck what you have, and them fake niggas rarely don't ever compare me. Yo girl, it goes up in my city. Take a shot to the Henny, like I can't lose the kitty, yeah. Did Lord forgive all my ways? I remember back in the day, niggas would talk down and always throw shade. I'm sliding back to the town where my home's never safe, in my zone, let away. Yeah.
When I bypass it, the vocal is just kind of masked by the beat a little bit. It's at a point where if I wanted the vocal to stand out more without doing this particular EQ move, I would have to boost the volume of the vocal, and it will get to the point where it's kind of feeling disconnected. So, in a lot of emails I get, how do you get the beat, or how do you get the vocal to mesh so well with a 2-track instrumental and still feel like you have space and the vocal doesn't seem detached from the beat? And this is how I do it. I get it to a point where the vocal sits well with the snare, and without this EQ move, the vocal feels kind of masked or like it's too low. But then what I do is typically I cut somewhere around 400 hertz in the beat. Where I'm doing mid-side EQ, I'm only affecting what's in the middle of the beat, where the vocal will be sitting. And then also I cut, wherever the vocal is really prominent, where the presence is in the vocal. And in Star B's voice, it's right around 3K, just below 3K. So I cut that area as well, again, just in the middle of the spectrum. With mid-side EQ. So I've cut there around 3 dB, and I cut around 400 hertz around 3 dB. And then I also do boost the sides of the beat around 1K, just a dB, just to kind of get the lead instrument in that beat to kind of pop a little bit, and kind of pop out the speakers just a little bit, but it's on the sides, so that way it's not really affecting the vocal. So what this does is it kind of opens up the beat. It actually adds a little bit of depth to the 2-track, and it also kind of unmasks the vocal without me boosting the volume of the vocal and making it feel detached. This is typically what I do to a 2-track, and then to show you my processing on the lead vocal, I'm using the Slate VMR and just some of the EQs that he has there. And as you can see here, I'm just boosting the top end a little bit. I'm actually boosting the bottom end instead of cutting. Then I've again opened up the top end a little bit more at 15K, 7K, a little bit at 800, and then I'm rolling off actually everything below 167 hertz, which is actually a little bit higher than what I typically go, but it just felt good. But you see, anywhere in the 200 to 500 range of the vocal, I'm not cutting at all. And the only cut that I am making on this vocal is right at 3.6K, notching out about 6 dB here.
You know I fuck with you. It goes up in my set.
As you can hear, as I solo that frequency, it was really ringy and really, popping out throughout his whole performance. So I just wanted to control that a little bit, and knocking it out about 6 dB helped that. But yeah, that's something that I used to struggle with a lot, and I used to cut at 200 and 250 and 300. I would, like, whenever I was a younger engineer, I would have a cleaning up EQ plug in, and I would be notching out. I would have like 5 to 10 notches in it, because when you start boosting stuff looking for ringy frequencies, everything starts to sound bad. So yeah, basically you just need to stop doing so much, stop cutting so much, and see what you can do with the beat versus notching stuff out of the vocals. And also, if you can get the track outs of the beat, that's going to give you even better results. But this is just a quick tip for those of you guys who are working on 2-track instrumentals and you want your vocal to mesh well with the beat without it sounding detached, too loud up front, and to help you not cut so much out of your vocal by opening up the beat a little bit. So just a quick tip. Again, I go into more depth and detail in this in my tutorial that's on my website. So if you have more questions, definitely check it out. It's only $25 for over an hour of content. And yeah, definitely hit me up if you need any mixing. www.mixedbyjordan.com. And I will catch you guys in tomorrow's vlog. Peace.
Yeah. The rules a lot different on my side.